ladies and gentlemen, I'm a little bit of a dummy, because sometimes when it comes to relaying information, I tend to be a little bad at that. And many of my friends... Oh my gosh, I forgot to mute myself on that! That's funny. That's real funny. I'm a funny guy. I'm very professional, guys, can't you tell? Anyway, why don't we get started, even though I didn't do the normal... Yo, is that Amy? The Amy plays things? Heck yeah. Well, why don't we get into that? I almost went straight into the show thing. So I say no. Let me adjust my little guy. There he is. So, normally, like lately, I've been using, like, my other model, but I've just been enjoying using this little guy that I've been using for the past little bit. And it's going to be pretty funny today when you see what I mean by that. Now, let's talk about our show yesterday and our next show, and then we'll talk about today's show. And today's show is certainly a very special one. So, firstly, yesterday's show was with the wonderful Snowy Tequila. Now, we got to speak with her on, you know, just her cool model designs and how you infuse personal elements on that. Not to mention we talked a lot about GTA roleplay. We talk about the show of January 18th. The January 18th, 2028, because woo, that one's a doozy. You know, I don't like to talk about that show because, you know, it wasn't my finest hour. It won't be my finest hour. But, you know, man, I'm looking at my bitrate, and my bitrate just is not looking good. So, I don't know why. Oh, hey, Finch. Yeah, I'll take a sip. I'll take a sippy sip. Ah! Well, now we wait. Now we wait. Here, maybe that'll fix your bitrate. No, that's an internet. So, looking outside my window right now, the town is blanketed in snow. And what has been happening, like, these past 2 weeks, my town has been, like, the snow has been melting, and it has been warming up. And then just last night, and I wish I could use Milky's emotes, because the thing is, it just doesn't pop up on my emote thing, which I wish I could, like, lock it in. Hina Panic, sub 2. Skill issue. Hey, Schmoozer! Welcome! It's always a good stream anytime Schmoozer's here. Why? Because I just like saying the word Schmoozer. But the town, it just overnight would not stop snowing, and it just got blanketed in snow. So, like, almost all the snow was melted, and now we have, like, almost a foot of snow. So, now I have to contend with that in my little four-door Buick. So that's fun. But yeah, yesterday we spent a little bit of... And then there's Malagor. Hey, Malagor, welcome! But we spent time talking about model designs, GTA roleplay, and the future of broadcasting, and stuff of that nature. And it was a lot of fun. Like, I'm hoping you guys might see Snowy a little later, like, for the VOD Season 2. Who knows? You can't see, but I'm shifting my eyes back and forth. Now, the next episode of the VOD... do love me some tequila. That's good. I'm glad you do. Hold on. Oh, goodness. I'm drinking Dr. Pepper right now. And that's going to be the last one I have for a little bit of a while. Because I'm drinking more water. Because I try and only drink Dr. Pepper when like, on the weekends. It sounds dumb. But that's how I cut back. And even then, that's still a lot. But our next episode will be on... It will be a 3-episode week again. Which... the idea of it happening within a month span is pretty interesting. So, we're going to have 3 episodes of the VOD this next week again. We'll have the Darling Damon on March March 8th, Gremlin on March 9th, and Mercury Wins on March 10th. So please join us for those dates as we have these wonderful people. But now, why don't we talk about today's guest? Today's guest is a very, very special little guy. And that is because throughout my VTuber journey, this entire thing would not have been possible had it been for this man, this little guy, kind of pushing me in that direction when I stumbled upon this cursed thing, this cursed profession. And because of him, I am where I am now. You know, he's supported a lot of things. He's vetoed a lot of things I've thought of doing because he's like, oh no, that's not smart. That wouldn't be good. I'm like, okay. But you know, most importantly, he is one of my very good friends. And hey, Willow, one of my very good friends, one of my best friends. But also, he is my head mod too. Now, you may see him drifting in and out because he's a busy individual, but he tries to make time when he can for bullying me. You might already see him in chat, because he already does that. Uses the most bizarre emotes from one person. So, you know, that's a thing. But enough about me rambling, because I don't want to waste any more time. What is that? Grunch? There we go. See? Grunch. What does that even mean? Okay. Anyway. Let's move on. And let's talk about this interesting fellow. Because we have a fun little show today. Because there's some things that I'm really excited to talk about. Now, today, we will be welcoming yet another shark to the VTuber sphere. And there's a reason why I say it, because there's so many of them. But they all separate themselves, and they're all very unique. While this little guy started streaming recently, he is no stranger to VTubing. Not only does he manage to mod for 2 active VTubers, he also assists with the operations of this show, the VOD. When he isn't skating fast and eating grass in Sonic Riders, you can find him running around and bullying bottoms, meaning, like, bottom as in me, on various streams. So please show some love to this Nurse Shark VTuber, the FBI's most wanted, and my head mod, Taethen. Let's see if this loads. Where is it? How dare you?
Hey there, buddy.
How dare you? Shove
Hey
yourself
there, buddy.
You gonna rise up? So if you guys have not noticed already, we both got these models commissioned from the same artist. And I mean, the artist does really fun work. Where is that? I'm gonna shrink you down just a tad. But or to shrink yourself. That also works. So this is what I have to deal with. Alright, well now I gotta size you up. There we go. Oh my gosh. Why must you be like this?
Because I'm also currently trying to fix my eyes.
Honestly, same. But anywho, yeah. So we do have like the same models essentially. Mine's a little more scuffed than his is. But yeah. Anywho, this has been a little bit of a time coming because ever since yeah. Ever since I started doing this, I'm like, hey, maybe you should. You know, had a fun little hobby. I thought it'd be a little fun. Up from the depths, maybe 5 feet high, breathing fire. He stands like a guy. That's funny. But ever since we talked about this, I'm like, hey, maybe it's something you should do. Maybe you'd have some fun. You stream games anyway to me. And so why not? And what you actually did as soon as you started your first stream, which I kind of want to talk about a little bit after this. My eyes are bugging out because of my glasses. So, you know, I said, how long will it be until we see you on the show, on the VOD? And, you know, you're just like, no, yeah, I don't want, I don't want to, not yet, not yet. And so it wasn't until this past week that I said, what are you doing this Saturday? Because we had to reschedule Mercury.
Well,
Not.
originally I told you that I would do it once I got an actual model.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Uh, what's funny is I feel like most of this conversation today is just gonna be like a normal conversation that you and I have when we're not.
It will be, which means you're gonna hate your life by the end of it.
And this is the guy who throws so many things at me.
Why the fuck are my eyes like this? I hate life.
It looks funny though.
I can't fix it.
So just take off the glasses.
I
Hey, Bunny, welcome.
My glasses are off and it's still freaking out. And now I can't see my cursor to try and fix it.
That's honestly really funny. All right, hold on. Let's see. If I go... See, guys.
Oh, there we go. Blink sensitivity.
See, I need to up my blink sensitivity. Anyway. So...
There we go. I fixed it. I'm so smart now.
Something I thought we could... Well, actually, no. The first thing I need to ask... I'm so used to us just talking normally that I almost just, like, threw out protocol of how I do the show. So, why don't I ask you my first, and in my opinion, the most important question, and that is, hey, buddy, old pal, who are you, and what is your story?
I don't know, man. I'm a little guy. I don't have a story.
Yeah?
I stream purely out of a hobby. I have no ulterior motive.
Well, it's funny that you mention that, because your first ever stream, was just you said, hey, I have a PNG that our good buddy Marie made. What if I just went live? And so I imagine that's what you thought to yourself, but like in reality, all I just see is Taethen went live, and you didn't say anything, and you just started going live, and we all started to just kind of watch you, like
Yeah.
me and my community, and then I since then, it's just been a ride.
That's because, like, I stream because if I'm not streaming, I'm probably just going to be in a Discord call sharing my screen with someone else anyways.
Do you think that there needs to be a purpose a lot of these days when it comes to streaming? Because when you see a lot of VTubers, they attribute such motives and such, like, grandiose, like, feelings to, I need to stream to pay the bills, I need to stream because I want to be the most successful, I need to stream because X, Y, and Z. But it seems you just stream because you think, why not? I have the free time.
I mean, yeah. And if I can force more people to consume the content that I enjoy, why not?
Speaking of which, you seem to stream, for the most part, one particular game.
Shut up. Shut up.
What do you mean, shut up?
I'm not trying to do it. It just keeps happening.
What do you mean?
I have actively tried to not stream it, and I always end up going back to it.
Sonic Riders?
Yes.
Why? I thought you loved streaming Sonic Riders.
I do love streaming Sonic Riders, but I don't want to become only a Sonic Riders streamer.
Because, like, to be fair, the streams I did the most of in the first, like, month and a half, 2 months, were TF2 streams. And, I was like, am I going to be known as a TF2 VTuber?
I'm batting like 8 for 10 right now. It's crazy.
Or just, to be fair, though, I feel like a lot of VTubers and a lot of content creators... Oh my gosh, that Dr. Pepper's fighting me. I feel like a lot of streamers and a lot of VTubers these days are trying to find one game that separates and, really gets them in one community. Thank you.
That's right, Rinthio. I have limbs now. You can't stop me anymore. I'm going to show up at your house now.
Please don't. But like... Oh shoot, what was I saying? Yeah, so do you think, like, having one game that you are known for playing is a good thing? Like, for instance, the one that comes to mind is Doki Bird plays a lot of Apex Legends. You
I
know,
think
Girl DM plays League of Legends.
I think initially, uh, being variety is a little better, and then once you have a dedicated community, you're welcome to stick on one thing and then immediately break off with no warning and not have to worry about numbers.
How much growth do you think you can achieve if you did happen and just stick in one avenue, like
Oh,
one?
if you just stick in one avenue, you're probably gonna get growth faster because people want to watch specific content and they're gonna watch you because they happen to like you. But if you break away, they're like, well, they're not streaming what I like anymore, so I'm not gonna watch.
Well, you picking a game like Sonic Riders, which
Yeah, I pick the most niche game in the world where I'm usually the only person streaming it.
but you somehow seem to attract like these 2 or 3 like speedrunners
Yeah,
that
it's because if anyone's playing Sonic Riders, like no one plays that. No one streams that. If someone streams that, of course they're gonna look at it. They're like, who the fuck is this?
so then that begs a question, is that something you want to maybe do in the future, like do more content centered around it? Like for instance, would you want to be a speedrunner for a game like Sonic Riders?
Speedrunning is a lot of work, man. And if
Yeah.
I'm gonna actively do something, I want to try and be number one. I don't have the hands to do that.
Well, one of these days, I kind of talked about it with you, is I want to do a Peggle Knights speedrun stream.
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely could.
Because why not? I was inspired by the great Doug of Doug and Smallland. Wait, did Smallland play it?
I think you've played it once or twice, but that's mostly Doug's thing.
But like, I don't know. Peggle Knights is just Peggle in general is now becoming one of those games. I'm just like, ah, yes. Anytime I just hop into it on any random day, I end up creating a new profile and starting all the way from the beginning to see how far I can get in one sitting. So, hands are important to play video games, but flippers will suffice.
See, I've thought about speedrunning Sonic Riders, except I have already hit the point where I'm reaching my cap
Mm-hmm.
of what I'm able to do without figuring out some sort of new trick.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the wall I'm at. Because I literally have a spreadsheet full of my times, and I'm kind of hard stuck right now.
So what are you trying to do in order to improve without even discovering groundbreaking things? Because maybe I'm just a little ignorant when it comes to speedrunning. Do you try and go as far as you can without having to do game-breaking glitches, or?
So it's not that I'm yes, I don't want to do game breaking glitches. The other thing is it's really just the thing with any racing game is knowing how everything controls and where you can shave off minuscule bits of time.
Of course. Now, like with a game like Sonic Riders, because my knowledge of speedrunning within racing games just comes from Summoning Solved, the Mario Kart franchise, and Mario Kart is a wild game to speedrun. Like it's pixel perfect at this point, where people just.
I mean, that's pretty much what Sonic is.
But is it better? Is Sonic Riders?
Yes.
Explain your case.
It is more skill based.
Yeah?
Yes.
As somebody who has played it, I can certainly attest that Sonic Riders is a game that makes me want to tear my hair out.
There are no items, which means if you suck, it's on you.
Ah! It's Vega, my boy! Man, one of these days. Why? You just want more ammunition in the cannon to throw.
Yes. This is not a secret.
One of these days, Vega, I'm really looking forward to it, having Aurora on the show. I'm just saying. We've talked about that before. Vega would love to get Aurora to the point where she can be on the show and just respond like that. So, Whether or not we'll have, imagine if we had Neurosama on the show. No, that would be wild. She would just call me a bottom.
You'll have to make a version for Val so that he can finally have a partner.
No, I don't need one. But Vega, we eagerly await your wonderful version of that. Also, get shouted out, nerd. Speak of the devil. Or I guess speak of the dragon.
That's Iron Mouse's stream. That's not your thing.
What did she say? As much as I love smashing, I'm not one for ball-filled games? What? What did she just say?
No, I get it. I get it.
What's funny is I was in Vegas streams one of these days, like a few days ago, and like, oh, Brawl. Okay. Vega was trying to figure out like new voice stuff because I guess people like the service raised their prices and whatnot, and so he's just trying to figure out like an alternative. And so something that Aurora has been doing recently is that a lot of her tone, she has been sounding like she's a Yu-Gi-Oh character announcing their ace card. And like I was like, hey Aurora, can you say this? And I put the text that Yusei Fudo says when he summons Stardust Dragon, and every time it would always like think it was swearing. Aurora thought she was swearing, and so she'd just go, oh heck, and then just say nothing. And it wasn't until Vega had to disable the profanity filter that she would actually say it.
That's really funny.
Oh my goodness. Honestly, Neurosama's okay, but Aurora's a lot of fun. But oh my goodness. Now, do you have any long-term plans that you kind of want to, you know, with this? Because I understand while this is more of a hobby, it's always fun to at least dream a little bit. You know,
not really, because I'd have to make a significant amount for it to be enough for me to quit my day job.
Oh, well, you know, yeah. I'm more referring to like, you know, I'm not working at this to do full time. I'm just doing this because it's fun. It's a hobby. It doesn't cost me a whole lot to do this. And, but you know, would there be any goals that you think would just be fun to have, you know, or just things that you think would be fun to do in the future, like regardless of full-time employment status?
Force everyone to play the games I like. That's my only goal. I'm a walking advertisement.
So just play Sonic Riders, Warframe.
Play Sonic Riders. I'm not asking.
You're the first person who's ever decided to zoom in on their model and cover the entire cropped box.
I can do what I please. Who's gonna stop me? You?
Yeah. I can, what is it? No, that's the crop. So I think I can, well. Embrace the pixels. Anyway.
I mean, I could just make my thing crunchier through the browser.
I'd rather you didn't.
I can make myself 4 pixels.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly how our friendship happens off stream, off cam. So, you know, while this is a talk show, more often, or most likely, today is literally just going to be just one of our normal conversations we have.
I do not modify myself for the sake of others.
He discovered his power. Well, since we are 30 minutes in, I think it's time for us to get to our next section of this. And that is, you currently are a mod for 2 different VTubers.
That's right, I am.
And who are those 2 people?
One is this weirdo named It's Valentine.
How dare you?
I don't know why I put that M in his name. It's really weird. The other is a wonderful lady named Mistress Lenore. She's got big honkers.
Jeez.
In reality, she does ASMR.
She does
is not my thing, but she is a friend of mine, so...
It's funny you say that because that's the exact thing I've say of like, hey, look, she seems like a cool person. I want to support her. ASMR is not my thing, and I've said it multiple times in her streams. So, you know, but how long have you been modding for her?
Close to 2 years.
And where, like, how big was she when you started?
About the size you are now.
And where is she now?
What do you mean?
Like,
Oh, well, I don't know. A few days ago, like maybe a week, she hit 1,000-ish.
she hit 1,000.
Average. Yeah, well, she got rated, but
Oh,
she got rated for about 2,000. But her average is probably around 300 to 500.
Val's blow up is next. No, maybe no. Yeah, but what I meant is like she was saying
His stream or his doll?
quiet you. So that means so she was about the size I was, but now how many followers does she have currently?
Oh, I don't fucking know. Like 5,000.
So 5,000.
More than that, I think, because I think she passed her 5,000 goal.
Oh, Vega, bad Vega.
Vega got me. Vega know what up. Vega the homie.
If Vega's the homie, then maybe Vega go gamble your points. 7,000 fembucks. Let's go. Still number one, baby.
Roulette all of it, you bitch.
I'm not going to. Well, there's no point because I can just add my points back.
Yeah, but that's called being a coward.
It is
What
being-
are you? A Vegas casino?
But a doll can't really top anyone. Not with that attitude.
You really are overestimating Val's ability.
Wow. Now, wow, good job, Rin. So because you've been modding, so let's start at the beginning. What was that like? Like, because I imagine you didn't have any experience being a moderator for a streamer before, did you not?
Excuse me? I used to moderate Pokemon forums.
There's a cooldown. There's a 1-minute cooldown timer on the point system. But what I'm saying is, I don't.
So for streamers, no. But okay. I was often through school clubs and whatnot in some position where I had to keep track of other people.
Interesting. How did that differ? Oh goodness, moderating in forums compared to moderating as a streamer.
Not really that differently. If someone breaks the rules, you give them a warning. If they continue, you send them to God.
Send them to God. So then, starting at the very beginning of Lenore, explain to me the process of how you got in contact with her, or just because I imagine, if I remember, the story goes, you just found her, you started interacting, started watching, and like, hey, you're pretty cool, and then did you ask her to be a mod, or did she ask you?
No, she just hosted applications.
Oh.
And I was just the most consistent, and I talked to her, and we got along.
And when you started out there, what was the landscape like? Because was she still doing ASMR content at that point?
She mixed it in, but she did more gaming at that point too.
She was a gamer?
She was a Fortnite gamer.
You're kidding.
Between Fortnite and Dead by Daylight, those were her things.
So what you're saying is, if I host a Fortnite tournament, I'll have to invite her on.
Depending on what day, yeah.
Well, if I make the prize pool big enough. Fork knife? Yay, fork knife. Fine. Hold on. Fine. You ready?
Gamba.
Gamble all.
Gamba.
There you go. You guys happy?
Let's go! We love gambling.
Yeah, you ready?
Gambling's based. Remember, kids, don't ask your parents before you play gacha games.
There we go.
How dare you?
I fuel the fembucks economy. Pork life.
Look at this, the government bailing out big streamer.
Jeez, Vega's just winning. Good job, Vega. Now, and this was over the course of 2 years. What stuff from the inside would you say you were able to see that, led to Lenore's growth and success? You know, was it just perseverance? Was it mixing it? Was it focusing,
Yes,
fixing?
because it was perseverance. Because before I had met her, she'd already been streaming for a year.
And she only had what? Just very much less than 1,000. Uh, pardon me.
Yeah, her consistent viewer count was about 5 to 10.
5 to 10. That's kind of, I think what we're currently at is about 10 to 15. Um, and you're broke. I can give you more, Finch.
I think Finch just means they're broke in general. Like that's kind of a mood.
You ready, Finch? I'm a sellout. I'll give you.
Well, that's not new information, but okay.
There you go. But anywho, like that, because there's so much ASMR content I've been seeing a lot recently. Stimulus package. That's it. That's the one. You got it, Vega. But I wonder how she was able to really set herself apart from a lot of the people who are doing the same thing. Because
she doesn't jam her tongue in your ear. That's one of them. Like, I don't get me wrong, I respect ASMR. I cannot listen to people who do like the tongue licking or whatever.
Licking the tongue?
Or whatever. Yes, they lick the tongue or ears or anything. Like, just licking in general, I can't stand. And she does not do any of that.
Like the.
Yes.
Oh, I don't like it.
Yeah, no.
I don't like it. And with that, like, did she just stick to the same content throughout the entire thing, or was there occasionally just like a different type? Maybe it was just, well, I mean, it was all just chatting, because ASMR is, that's the category it's defined under.
Yeah, we're not getting Fortnite ASMR.
Fortnite ASMR, why not?
You tell me, you do it.
I have to think about that. Licking is only okay in one-on-one situations.
I know.
Hey, yo, Finch got 420 fembucks. Let's go.
Val and I do it all the time. He's just a little shy about it.
Did my face? I think my face tracking just got derpy.
Skill issue.
So, kind of leading into that, she is doing ASMR content, and she talked about it recently, where she wants to branch out. Like, she wants to like not do as much, because she, just being known as the ASMR streamer is kind of, I imagine for some that is more than enough, but I suppose for her, she wants to expand past that. Like, what plans does she have to try and grow?
I'll be honest, most of the planning she does, she keeps to herself.
Really?
I'm mostly there as support staff during streams.
And the reason why I ask this is because since she boxes herself into that kind of category, how hard can it be to want to be different, to not want to do that anymore?
Well, I mean, it's like I was talking about earlier. If you just do one thing and then you stop doing it, people are going to drop off because that's what they want to see.
Yeah.
Part of it is just growing that dedicated audience in order to lessen that impact.
And something else I probably noticed is that draws people close to her is that it's something I've kind of seen quite a little bit recently with a lot of the people I've been interacting with. It seems like the during the ASMR stuffs, she has almost like a persona with the with just the whole ASMR, like, hey, talk to you nice and sweet like this, who's a good boy and all that. But as soon as somebody says something just really funny, immediately just breaks down, and she becomes like, she talks in what I think is her real voice.
Yeah.
And so I find that level of relatability to be a lot better to watch.
Yeah, she's very personable.
Because you see that with a lot of streamers, like bigger streamers these days. Like, because you and I were watching Chibidoki stream yesterday together, and
The only person dumber than you.
I don't know. What was that? What was that? Just a side shuffle to the side eye, that bombastic side eye. Oh my gosh. I found that people either seem to either like it when the streamer is really good at a game or really bad but funny.
Yeah, you want to be either like faker, or you want to be an IGN journalist.
An IGN journalist. That's a very good way of putting it. I mean, watching Chibidoki last night. This was because it was the first time I'd ever watched a Chibidoki stream, and back at the bottom, Vega, my boy, you didn't need to go all that hard on your
Big Gamba.
Big Gamba.
Gamba.
I never. You're at Val's house. Yeah, he's at my house. In two entirely different states. Campbell.
Go!
That's funny. I mean, I can always give you more.
I don't want your pity money.
You'll just gamble it again.
I will.
But yeah, it's the first time I saw a Chibidoki stream, because I've seen nothing but her content on Twitter and something like that. Could I cuddle Taethen? I love sharks.
Yeah, no, you're welcome, douche-moozer.
And we'll talk about it a little later. Your design choice and why you chose to be what you are. It sounds much more sinister, or like much more deep than it should be. We'll figure out what you are.
Why are you a shark?
But yeah,
who made you this way?
The conclusion the thought I came to of why I think I might like, I was comparing Chibidoki to Fillion, in that they're both stupid. They're both.
I was about to say brain dead.
They're both dumb, and what I realize is I feel like Chibidoki is more endearing than Fillion is, because like I don't know. There's something really funny about seeing Chibidoki go, yeah, to all of a sudden, like the next moment later, honing it in and, 1v3ing an entire squad in Apex. And I'm like, okay, where did this come from? Like, heck, last night, I was just telling Tay about this. Last night, I had asked Chibidoki, I said, Chibi, what do you think of Dr. Pepper? And this woman said, I don't really know if I like Dr. Pepper, but I've never had DP. And I sat there, and everybody in chat just went nuts and kept, for the next 2 hours, nonstop in chat, would be talking about DP, which
Val's a big fan of DP.
Which, if you don't know what DP is, don't worry, you don't need to know, unless you want.
Don't worry, guys, just 2H.
Just 2H, just
2H,
just 6P. But I mean, DP, Dr. Pepper, David Productions, which David Productions is a production company that animated JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But it's the sexual term. Not the point. The point is that
JoJo's my favorite sexual term.
Yeah. Yeah. So I will hydrate. Let me get into that. So going back to moderation, what made you decide to say, I want to apply. This could be fun. Being a streamer's moderator.
Because I hung out with her enough anyways. Like, I would just chat with her, and it's like, she's chill, I'll be helpful to her.
You feel like that for DP? Vega, no. Also, sharks are like underwater puppies. They are.
They really are until they eat your leg. That's kind of based.
Why does a nurse shark kind of look like a sturgeon? That's funny. That's really funny.
How dare you?
I'm just saying.
Which one did you look at?
Yes.
There's two different kinds.
What do you mean there's two different kinds?
There's gray nurse sharks and there's tawny nurse sharks.
I don't
They're
know.
completely different. I can't believe that he misspecied me.
What?
I'm definitely not just a dude in a hoodie.
The one with whiskers?
Yes. The one that's kind of tawny.
Alright. Now, I say now a lot because I have to, they're my transitional phrases.
Now,
Exactly.
your host.
So, being a mod, what is something that you learned from that you wanted to kind of take in with you as you started to stream a little more? Because since you have the experience of a mod for somebody who has a relatively big audience and a big following, because for instance, doing ASMR content, I imagine there would be some unsavory characters that might pop up in chat that you kind of have to deal with.
I'll be honest, I don't have to deal with it that much. A, because she has quite a few mods, and so even if I miss something, someone else will catch it.
Mm-hmm.
And B, people just tend to be smart enough most of the time to not do it.
Yeah.
And if they do it, they die. So
Do you have any
it's just that simple.
do you have any stories or anything that stands out to you? Like in your experience that like just a moment that you thought was really funny that you kind of had to do something that popped up?
Honestly, what I have to do more than anything is I have to unban terms.
Unban terms.
Yeah.
What are the most commonly banned terms that you?
Well, because if you think of something that like, because Twitch will try and auto mod whatever it thinks is unsafe.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, anything that Twitch thinks can be misconstrued typically has to just be unbanned, and it's a one and done thing. But that's most of what my job is.
So
None of it really sticks out to me.
So you're not the I have to sit down and talk with people who are being, dumb human beings. You're the I have to unetch a sketch the dictionary.
There's that, and really, there's enough mods in her chat that I'm actually in a position with one other person of being head mod. So my bigger deal is making sure that they're doing their jobs, and if one of them starts doing something they shouldn't, I have to talk to them.
Do you think at a certain point, with at least with this channel, you think we'll have to expand to having more mods?
I mean, eventually, probably, but as it stands, you have a pretty solid handle on things, and there's very rarely. I don't think I've ever had to remove anyone.
Recently, I've had to do that, one, because somebody was being racist, and, I was the only one there. But the other one was we weren't playing Danganronpa, and there was this dude who he had a Japanese name, and in parentheses next to it said Johnny Spoilers, and the dude just came in and immediately was trying to spoil the ending of Danganronpa 1. And as soon as I caught that, because I happen to be looking at chat anyway on my left, I happen to come in and
oh no, he tried to spoil Mondo Sex? That's crazy.
Mondo Sex.
Mondo Sex.
Mondo Sex. And so I immediately was able to just ban him, without question. And then he tried to go into Nova's stream and do the same thing. And as soon as I saw that, that's what I banned. And it's one of those things where in the moments that it happens, as a moderator, because I was at the time, I wasn't concerned about my own stream. I was more concerned about Nova's stream, because at the time Nova was really trying to get to affiliate. And now that he is an affiliate, not much has changed except emotes and stuff like that, but I focus a little much more on his stuff than mine. And because of that, I'm like, oh man, you know, when it happens, I am truly thankful for mods being present. Because not every time I can catch things. But thankfully my chat isn't fast enough where I have to worry about that. Like with Chibi Doki's last night, seeing the things that mods have to ban because they just people are dumb.
Yeah.
You know, it's not.
That's the thing is you time them out or you ban them and you don't acknowledge it because acknowledging it is what they want.
Yeah, they want the attention. So, with that, is there anything that, you know, because you have this knowledge, you have this experience. When you saw that I started, I said, "Hey, do you want to be my head mod?" You know, what kind of stuff were you, just kind of thinking about? Okay, well, since I'm here for the start of this channel, you know, was there anything that you wanted to carry over from Lenore's channel and kind of the way how you run things to mine?
Not really. I pretty much always have a very low tolerance policy for any sort of shenanigans. So
what constitutes
that's just what I'm like.
shenanigans?
I mean, some people will not explicitly break the rules, but they'll get a little close. And then some people just straight up do something they're not supposed to. And so my typical process is I give someone a warning and then I remove them.
Fair enough. One of Twitch's auto mod issues is Maine Coon. What, like the cat?
Yes, because the second half of the word.
Yeah, no, I got that. I had a cat that was a Maine Coon. A very cool cat. His name was Bob.
Weird character domain, but okay.
Yeah, his name was Bob, and he was a very fluffy one. Like, I love my cat.
Wouldn't that make him a bobcat?
That's what we. Well, so that was one of the reasons why we called him Bob. But the other reason was because he had a litter mate named Doug, and so we called them. Their names were Bob and Doug, and so they were named after the astronauts who were in the space, like the SpaceX astronauts. So it was they were adorable. Was Bob secretly actually a bobcat? No, Finch. But because he was so fluffy and he got so big, that we started calling him Bobcat. So it was an adorable cat. I think I posted pictures. Like, if you guys look because I know for those who are here are a part of the VOD, if you go to the pet section, I'm pretty sure I have posted higher up. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I posted pictures of my cats, which I'll do that again. Sometimes Discord just doesn't like to work. So, there we go. And those are the cats that I had. They're just freaking adorable. Love my cats. Like, hadn't seen them in a while. So, But anywho, back to that. So, for those that want to have more mods or want to, try and get consistent mods, is there any advice that you could probably give to somebody who wants to become a mod?
Hold an application process. Like, just have a Google form that people can fill out and that they can put their name in. So you can see things like how long they've been there. And typically you already kind of know who you are hoping to apply.
Yeah, because you're hoping it's the people that have been hanging around and been active, but also keeping their head on straight since the time they've been interacting in stream.
Like Lenore, a while ago, she's held 2 other requests for new mods, and we always roughly had an idea of who we were hoping to join, but it's a chance for someone else who might just lurk all the time to do it as well. Because if someone's always there and they just don't talk, that's just as fine, because that means that they can still do the job.
Now, modding is an often thankless and underappreciated job where, at this point, being a mod is somewhat of a memed on thing. You know, whether it be a Discord mod, a stream mod, or just any like a like a Reddit
That's
mod.
right. I mod on Reddit, Discord, and Twitch.
How do you feel?
Ask me anything, ladies.
How do you feel about the stigma? And imagine knowing you don't care. Just
Look, the stigma around people on Discord or Reddit exists for a very strong reason. But
yeah.
just because it exists doesn't mean it applies to everyone.
It's
So I don't really concern myself with it.
it's kind of like the whole Florida man thing where the Florida man does not represent
No,
the
no, no.
entire
Everyone in Florida's like that. Everyone in Florida's like that.
Everyone
Florida's a fucked up place. We need to saw it off.
everyone in Florida is a Florida man.
Yes. It doesn't matter who they are. Everyone in Florida is like that.
Are you saying that we're just like there is no human in Australia, all they are just spiders in disguise, giant spiders?
Yeah. Honestly, it's just spiders and kangaroos and platypi.
Is that what Marie is? Is she is not a
Well, yeah, she's a spider.
Well, yes, but
Spider Marie. She never hid that.
But behind the camera, behind the VTuber, she's just an actual spider.
Yeah, how do you think she controls all the eyes on her face at once?
Fair enough.
Oh my god, and the drop bears.
Drop bears?
Drop bears.
What are drop bears?
They're drop bears.
What is
You
that?
gotta be careful when you're going through any wooded area because they'll just drop out of the trees.
What?
Yeah, they're real. Like that's not a joke. Drop bears are a thing.
Who came up with the term drop bears?
They're bears and they drop. Like it's pretty. It's been around forever.
Koalas with rabies. Koalas with chlamydia. Man, is that what it is?
That's not a bit. Like literally, they exist.
Wait, so are koalas with rabies carnivorous cousins of koalas? Is that what you're saying, Malgore? Sounds like a bear you get on a lucky pull. Yes, the 5-star bear. It's a drop bear.
Bro, give me the UR bear.
The UR bear. You don't want SSR bear.
UR's better than SSR.
I know, but SSR has 2 S's in it instead of 1.
Yeah. And
I don't know, man. I'm just here. I just work here. The producers, they just pay me to be here.
you don't get paid.
Well, yeah. Fair enough.
You wish you got paid.
I wish I got paid. So, we're reaching the 1 hour point of the show. So why don't we all get up, stretch, take a nice break.
Do not move a muscle. Shrimp in your chair is even harder.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this controversial addition to the show.
I will answer any questions that people have about this. Because I can justify all of them. And I don't have to use a bullshit method that puts all of the blame on the viewer like Val did.
I was doing my job as the host.
No. You designed it so that you don't have to deal with people. And that's the coward's way out.
It's the smart way.
It's the coward's way.
Regardless of that, I want to ask, where did this come from? Like
I was drunk.
Okay, but much like a lot of things that come from drunk stupors, there has to be some inspiration. There has to be some beginning. Like, what prompted this?
You think I remember?
It was one of those nights.
Look, I'm not saying that I'm like blacked out, but it definitely gets hazier the further into a night you go.
I suppose I'm too much of a baby man to know of that.
Have you ever been like really tired and your brain just starts like shutting down as you're awake? It's pretty much that.
Oh yeah, you've witnessed me do that. It's not fun. So then, when you made this, what did sober you think?
How many people can I bully with this?
And did you go and present this to anybody else?
Yes, I presented this to Lenore. I presented this to Ollie. I presented this to... I think that's it.
and what they think.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Because let's see, do I even... Oh, on a side...
Ollie's partner was completely on my side because she and I are like, we share the same brain cell. Pizza Rat.
Pizza Rat.
Yeah, no, the version, I didn't make this. Mine was so much more open-ended. You could totally misclassify things, and it was so much funnier.
Oh, I remember. Is it this one? This is it. I believe this is it. Because this was the this right here was the...
No, that's not the original.
No, this is the revised one. This was the revised one that we had. Except bread bowls. But this was the revised one that we had. And because the original one had holes in it, where this one was a little more concrete.
Look, it only had holes in it if you were sober.
So a stipulation for it to make sense is the amount of alcohol ingested.
Is that a problem?
I suppose not. I suppose not.
It's not my fault. Look, if you're going to make people answer the questions, I'm also going to require that they have a little bit of intoxication.
So, I'm sorry, just the idea that you are required to become alcohol in order for this to work.
Everyone must have 3 shots of tequila before they start it.
Let's see. Do I have the absolute original? Because I don't think I do.
I do somewhere.
Regardless,
I stand by my chart.
I'm glad you stand by the chart. I stand by it too. I just stand by...
No, you don't. You don't stand by it. You're not a true believer.
I just stand by this revised version.
You have a weak faith. Lasagna is a sandwich. It is a layered dish.
Lasagna. See, yeah, lasagna is a sandwich. Chat gets it.
That's the thing. I could probably define anything without looking at the chart because I have it memorized.
Now, goodness. Well, I love joining to being told to take alcohol. Hey, Kilo.
Look, I never said it was sensible to normal people. I simply said that you could define bread bowl. It's a steak. It's a bowl made of bread.
Now, if
it is it's not just the bread part, the whole. In that case, that would be a salad because it's things mixed together, but it's not a sandwich.
Unless there's soup inside, then there is. It is a sandwich.
No, not necessarily. Hey, your unwillingness to eat lasagna without utensils is a you problem.
Val gets me. Well, that's how I rationalize it. If the thing is that if there is soup inside of a bread bowl...
Pizza's technically a sandwich because it's layered.
If soup is inside of the bread bowl, it is layered because there's a layer of bread and there's a layer of soup. But if it was soup soaked into the bread...
That'd be steak then.
That'd still be steak. But if it was a chopped up bread bowl mixed in with the soup...
Then it's a salad.
Then it's a salad. So, well, hold on. What do you mean, hold on? Pasta without utensils feels wrong? What do you think toddlers do?
Just because, let's see, if the soup's soaked in... Yeah, then that's a steak. If the soup soaks into it, it's a steak.
Because now it becomes one single mass. What a mac and cheese? Mac and cheese is a salad.
Yes.
We have these discussions for a reason. We create civil dialogue.
Here's the other thing. If you ever disagree with me, I can just not respond.
What do you mean you can just not respond?
If I don't agree with anything, I just don't have to respond to the person. Or I can continue to tell them the same answer until they get really annoyed.
So the Midwest is right about macaroni salad? Well, macaroni salad is different. So macaroni salad is cold.
But the heat doesn't matter.
Well, no. I'm just saying about the difference between mac and cheese and macaroni salad. Apparently
Yes,
salads.
Kilo, you're right.
Salads are making me fat. Got it. Oh my gosh. But yeah. Now, if we strip back all of the seriousness behind this flowchart, you know, this is essentially just something to kind of drum up attention. You know, something to.
You're being a little too polite about it. This is something to start fights.
Thank you, Kilo.
This, if I remember anything, I very explicitly remember that I wanted to annoy as many people as possible with this.
Yeah. No, Bubbles, not this again.
Hey there, Bubbles. Look, it's okay. We don't have to look at the chart because I will just define everything for you in person.
Well, the reason why I bring it up is a lot of people have something they like. A lot of streamers have things they like to bring up that really drums up attention, or just captures people. Like, for instance, the one that immediately comes to mind for me for whatever reason is Dokibird's tomato VTuber thing.
Ice cream's a steak, Kilo. It's just a mass.
Thank you for the moan. Now melted ice cream is a soup.
Yes.
Steak until it melts into soup. If anything, if it reaches a point where it can melt, then it's a soup. Steak cannot melt. Steak will burn.
That's... you could melt steak, probably.
No, because what'll happen is steak will burn, and it'll char, and it'll turn to dust. Because at that point, there's no moisture inside of it to become a liquid.
So it becomes a salad, then.
It becomes a salad because it becomes ash. So, because the thing is, what causes things to melt is either moisture or bond structure within the atoms. And so with steak, since it's organic matter like that, it will end up shrinking, and it will burn much like wood would burn, and it will turn to dust. You can't melt wood.
Real quick, Neapolitan ice cream, unless it's like actually layered between something, is still a steak. If it's actually layered, that becomes a sandwich. Block of cheese is a steak, but if you melt it, it's a soup. Yes, you are correct.
Well, you can melt a block of cheese, but you can't melt a steak. Like, and when I say a steak, I'm talking about like an actual.
Yes, I'm repeating what Amy says.
No, I know you are. My goodness.
Speaking of, you ever just like take a block of cheese from your fridge and just like take a bite out of it? Oh my god, that's so great.
Oh, all good then. See, we're slowly converting people to the church of the chart. They're subscribing to the idea. Amy, no. So the thing is, I have Parmigiano Reggiano in my fridge right now. For half a pound is $6. Half a
Kayla,
pound.
watching Val lose all of your brain cells. You can't have any more to lose.
I'm allergic. Look, we're both sharing 2 brain cells right now.
Hang on, I have one too, Amy.
Let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of this chart. Let's get rid of this chart. What is that? Is that cheese?
Shoe cheese.
I hate that.
Excuse me, shoot on cheese.
I hate that.
Shoot on cheese what?
Quiet you. It's now 3:09. Why don't we talk a little bit about your VTuber model and what led you to the choice to be a shark? Now, when we were discussing each other's thoughts on being a VTuber, I talked about how I thought it would be funny to be a bat, and because it would justify my poor performance in video games because I'm blind.
Thank you, Kilo. I'm so glad you understand me.
Kilo, weren't you supposed to be lurking? Okay, there it is. And with that, I went through several revisions and I finally landed on this design. Now, for you, one of the biggest hurdles when it came to wanting to become a VTuber was you didn't know exactly what you wanted to be when you grew up. And because of that, once you finally landed on this idea, you took hold of it and really ran with it. What made you decide shark, and more specifically nurse shark? Like, first off, what is a nurse shark?
It's just a little guy. It's probably 3 to 5 feet long. It has little whiskers. It's got a little flat head.
Should I show a picture of a nurse, like an actual nurse shark?
Yes.
Should I get a GIF of it, or should I actually get a picture of it?
Get me a gif of a nurse shark flossing.
Let's see.
Yeah, nurse sharks like divers. They're typically really friendly. Unless they think that you're food, in which case they will grab your limb and then start shaking it because that's how they kill their prey.
Kind of like a crocodile.
Yeah, kind of.
All right, let's see. Goodbye. You know, hold on. I'm gonna keep the rat with the pizza GIF.
They live in relatively shallow waters, probably, I don't know, like 3 to 50 feet, I think. They're one of the sharks that you could probably swim with, but legally you... Yeah. Welcome to Flat Fuck Friday.
Guys,
He is a certifiable little guy.
that is a nurse shark. Now, I saw a picture that I need to find. That was really funny.
He is very friend-shaped, Finch.
Hold on. Come on, let me save it. Let me save the image. I'm gonna get rid of this. Okay, goodbye. But what made you decide nurse shark?
I like sharks. I like nurse sharks. I did a project on them in school once.
And you just thought this level of familiarity was something you thought to explore?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
For an oceanography project in high school, I made a nurse shark plush that was you know the blowhigh. Thank you. You know the blowhigh dolls from IKEA?
Yeah?
It was that size, and I made it by hand.
Interesting. You know, the 3 feet long, I can only imagine. What the? Favorite Sesame Jehovah's Witness Baptist Church carrot farmer. Interesting.
Oops, I just grabbed the wrong thing.
Then I'm over here named after a finch that actually drinks. Really? You're kidding.
Well, yeah, that's typically what the word carrion is associated with.
Yeah, because hell.
Hell.
The vampire ground finch. Interesting.
Based.
There's a lot of sharks. There's a lot of VTuber sharks.
You know what? I wonder if I scroll through my phone, I might be able to find the picture.
Let's see. Let's see how many VTuber sharks we can find. 7 shark VTubers you'll want to add. Sure. So, we have... Well, of course, there's Gargora.
Guar.
Gargura.
Guar.
There's the other one. Well, I guess maybe there's only 2 I can think of off the top of my head. There's Gargora and there's Megalodon. But is Megalodon a shark?
Yeah.
That's what
I mean,
thought.
It's just a very, very big, very danger shark.
Yeah.
Big danger.
And when you were picking this design, because only you have seen, you and the reference artist you had, or I think it was Ollie who made the...
Yeah, it was Ollie. Boxcar Ollie.
Boxcar Ollie.
Boxcar Ollie.
It was like only you 2 have seen it, and maybe the person, Jack and Tyne.
Yeah, Jack and Tyne saw it too.
And so you guys are the only people have seen this reference sheet. You know.
Yes, the legendary reference sheet that has 2 images.
Which I still have not seen, which I want to see to this day, but I've never seen. And what I want to know is, when coming up with the design, what all did you have in mind? Because from what we can see on your little guy we have here, what exactly is your outfit comprised of?
A hoodie.
Just a hoodie?
And some pants.
What's part of the pants?
What do you mean?
Like, what is there any significance in the pants or anything that you made like there? Was just
I can't just free ball it. I mean,
that's not what I meant.
I can't just let it hang out.
My guy, what are your pants supposed to be based on?
Pants.
It's fair.
I have to, legally, you have to wear pants. It's not that deep.
Fair enough. Do you ever hope to get a full 2D or 3D model of this?
I'll think about it once I actually reach affiliate.
But it's one of those things where affiliate's not actively on your radar. It's just if it happens, it happens.
No. Yeah.
So guys, if you're not following our buddy Tay here,
Don't follow me.
Follow him.
I will simply spam you with content that you don't want to hear about or that you've never heard of. What the fuck are you doing? How dare you?
Is this the same? Oh, this is like one of 2 clips you have.
Yeah, I have like 0 clips. If you are going to hang out with me, please, for the love of God, clip my stream so I don't have 1 clip that plays every time.
Sir, I'll have you know that a lot of people don't clip my stuff, and I just clip my own things.
Yeah, but that's too much effort.
What do you
for
mean?
Something that I'm not going to go back through my streams.
So
and if I'm playing something, I'm too invested.
So fun fact. This is a really fun fact. There is a quick action that just says clip that.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna stop playing Sonic Riders or something to go clip it.
All I gotta say is that sounds like a skill issue. Well, you also have a a stream deck.
I still have to take my hands off of my controller to press a button.
That smells like an excuse to me.
You're allowed to say that when you beat me in Sonic Riders.
I almost did as Eggman.
Yeah. And?
I'm just saying.
You want to do it right now? You want to do it right now?
We're not doing that right now.
You want to do it right now?
We're not doing that right now.
You got a big TV in the background we can use.
That is not a TV. That's a window.
It's a TV.
That's a window. Step 1, get a throw. And step 2, put a pedal input on there. Step 3, there's no step 3.
No, step 3 is step on the pedal.
Get one of those foot pedals in macro. So I think that's what Phantom has. See, chat's on the same wavelength.
You know what's even funnier?
What?
I could just take the pedals that I have from the Logitech steering wheel I own. It's just macro that, but that's also a lot of work. I don't have any more USB ports.
Just get a USB extension.
I already do.
Get more.
I'm pretty sure that's part of why my microphone breaks every time.
Have you set the microphone as a default input source on your computer?
Yes, but I don't think that the USB extender is... That's the thing, Finch. This is an upgraded PC, but I'm using a ITX motherboard, so I don't have any space to put in an expansion, and it doesn't have any more space for USB ports.
Based.
There's not very much I could upgrade on this PC anymore, to be frank.
That's fair. That is fair. So, moving a little bit.
Because I'm already rocking like a i9-12 and a 4070 on it. Or 4060.
Oh, goodness.
4070? I don't remember which. What the fuck are PC parts?
One of those things. Now. Oh my gosh, I need to stop saying that. Oh!
Now. Hey guys, let's count the number of times that Val has said the word now in this stream.
Yeah. When do you ever want to do like a redesigner at one point, like a 2.0 and in the future? Do you think that would be something that could be fun? Because again, I know a lot of the answers you're gonna give of just not really, probably not.
It'd be fun. I think the only real thing that would excite me is getting a actual 2D model. And that would excite me for a bit. and maybe doing a 3D one, but I also don't want to buy an index to use that. Because if I get a 3D model, I want to be able to fully control it.
That's what I'm trying to do.
But I also don't want to buy an index.
Somebody in my town is selling one for $500, complete with 2 base stations.
Too bad you can't buy it.
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can on credit. Kids, don't buy things on credit. It's not... Unless you're buying gas or groceries, don't buy things on credit. There he goes. But yeah. I think it'd be fun for us to move to our next little section and topic.
I was going to say, where are we moving?
Sonic Riders.
Dear, we just settled into this house.
That's fair. So you have been modding for me since I started this. And
I know, God.
How
get fucked.
Dare you son of a gun.
I've been around long enough. I know you're going to ask me, and I'm not going to waffle about it. The man paid for the product.
He paid for me to do it.
And?
All right. It's like Amy does it. It's like either Amy or it's Bonnie who does it every episode of the VOD.
If you can say one thing for certain about me, I do not back out of doing things.
They didn't even want to hear me do it. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. That's good.
Yeah. See, I've always just been the mod in the chat. I'm what people really wanted.
Oh, okay, so you do want it. You're not satiated. Well, maybe you want to hear
No, they're sated, not satiated. Get it right.
Da-da. Oh, you want a deep one. Oh.
Get real deep in there.
I can't really do as deep as Phantom did. Da-da. Probably the best I can do. Reach down. Not like that. That's like the best I could do. What do you want? You want like... da-da. It's like vocal fry and just sounds awful.
Amy's satisfied.
I'm glad Amy's satisfied. Recently we hosted a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament.
We did.
How did you feel about that running? Like, did you think that you would ever host and commentate on a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament on a live stream?
Host, yes. Commentate, no.
What was the experience like?
Yes.
What do you mean, yes?
Yes.
You can't just say yes.
I feel like people were not really prepared for how long it took.
That's fair.
I understand the newer people not understanding that. I feel like the people who were more used to the game should have probably anticipated it. Because tournaments are not short affairs typically.
That's fair. You know, during the pre-planning of all of it, it was something that you and I talked extensively about. Because you have been to Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments. You know, we've just been to tournaments in general. That's like...
Yeah.
I never went to a gaming tournament or a card tournament. I went to sports tournaments, but pardon me, am I gonna say...
If I was smarter, I would have done a Swiss format instead of elimination, because that would have also helped with the for fun aspect. But
now, given the knowledge you have with that, like there were so many moments in that where we just it was our first time commentating on it. And it was something that was really really interesting, to say the least. You know, where we sat there, we did play-by-plays, we did speculations, predictions and all that. And it was a fun experience, but I'd certainly say there were a couple of hiccups along the way. What were your...
Like all of the undisclosed people who did not open the game until day before or day of.
Yeah, that was an interesting experience to see. Is that probably half of the people who did it had never played a Master Duel.
Yeah, I'll be honest. This is just a me thing. I can't imagine not prepping for stuff beforehand. That's just who I am. Is like if I'm dedicated to doing something, I'll be ready ahead of time.
Yeah, I mean, because
barring today.
Yeah. Because recently, you actually played Sonic Riders on stream with J-Droid for the first time. Like I was like,
I did, which was very fun.
It was technically your first collab, like official collab.
Yeah, I'm like, I play with Marie and stuff, and you occasionally, but
yeah, but it was one where like
it was a pre-scheduled collab. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey guys, for the record, I do not plan to stream more than an hour in advance. Just for the record.
So why is that? How come you don't? I mean, I imagine it's because of your schedule, but it's just one of those things where you're just like, I feel like streaming. I'll go live and I'll do that. Whereas other times, like, I don't feel like.
That's really all it is. It's just like, does it sound interesting in the moment?
Does this sound interesting in the moment? And so you're playing games like Warframe or Overwatch or Sonic Riders.
Yeah.
Do you have any rules that you try to establish that you try to keep yourself to during these streams, or is it very much this is just me, this is who I am, this is just my little guy?
Pretty much just the latter.
Is there anything that feasibly could get in the way that if you didn't have like pre-thought plans or rules? Because I feel like there's good things about just hitting live and hoping for the best, but I feel like there's also cons to it as well.
I mean, sure. That's the thing. If I want to do something like a collaboration with someone else, I'll plan that in advance. But everything else, I'm not too concerned about because I haven't really invested in this. I have a $30 webcam, and that's about the only investments I've made.
If you spend $100, you get or even probably less than $100, you get like a broken iPhone 10 and use that.
Yeah, it's like I have a Stream Deck, but I use it for other things in general. So,
like what?
Well, I can map audio controls through it. I can have browser tabs shortcutted onto it.
What's funny is at work for me, we also have like I think the big fancy expensive Stream Deck. I think it's the most expensive one.
Yeah, it's like a 6x8 or something, or 6x10.
Yeah, and it's all used and mapped to our audio software. Like for even
like it's super convenient.
I mean, I feel like if I had that, the first thing I would do is map it out to Helldivers 2.
Yeah, I could do that.
That would satiate a lot of the problems that you have been dealing with recently in that game.
God. Yeah, Helldiver controls are a pain. I'm not gonna lie.
But Helldiver's been a lot of fun to play recently, especially for me. I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun with it. And I know some people just haven't been, and I feel bad for them because I don't.
Well, it's because not everyone's into horde shooters. That's the thing.
That's fair. But everyone.
I'm not as big of a horde shooter guy, but I like games like Dynasty Warriors.
What about One Piece Pirate Warriors?
How dare you?
What do you mean?
I'm more of a Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition kind of guy.
What does that even mean?
Man says he owns a Switch, doesn't even know Nintendo games. That's crazy.
Sir, I own a Switch because I wanted to play Breath of the Wild. That's what it was.
You literally bought a $300 piece of tech just to play one game. What are you, a Beat Saber player?
I just got Helldivers. I've been playing with my Xbox controller. There you go. Like, Helldivers is a very fun game to play with a controller. Because I played it originally on the PS4. I put a lot of time into that. Because it's a very fun game to just play with friends. Especially if you play it, it's couch co-op.
The crazy thing is I feel like Helldivers is arguably better on controller.
Have you tried giving it a chance on like playing Helldivers 2 with a controller?
No, I haven't, but
Yeah, certainly.
that's just because I'm a bitch.
We'll certainly give it a chance because instead the stratagems are just controlled with the D-pad. I think you just hold LB and then you
I'm
do
not
it.
even gonna lie. I think I would rebind the stratagems in order to be um, the letter buttons.
Really?
If it's on D-pad, you can't move at the same time.
Huh.
Which is my biggest issue with keyboard controls, is that I can't move and use stratagems at the same time. Which means if I'm running away from a horde of enemies, I have to stop in order to use them.
You just get really good, like I do, with it and just memorize a lot of them.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is I don't want to have to stop.
Oh, very much so. Because it's the kind of game where as soon as you stop, you will die. And it kind of sucks that your sprint just barely outpaces the bugs, but once you hit that plateau of energy, you just instantly
Yeah,
crash.
there's definitely a few things about Helldivers that I think I understand what Helldivers is going for. That doesn't necessarily mean I agree with everything,
No, that's fair.
at least from a someone who's not as into it. Because that's the thing, is I don't experiment with games a lot, because a lot of the time I'll run into several hiccups that just hinder my enjoyment of a game.
Yeah.
And then I just don't play new things because I'm like, well, if this happened last time, it'll happen again, which is why I play 3 games.
So what would be your ideal stream then with that? Like, besides Sonic Riders, what is your ideal stream to do?
Uh,
Jeez, what the heck? Your little guy's mouth was going haywire.
yeah, I know, that was on purpose. I don't know. I don't have an ideal stream because my streams are predicated by what I feel like playing in the moment.
That's fair. Because something I was thinking about is how, as we talked about earlier, your very first stream, you just hit go live and you just did it. Like,
Yeah.
is there a reason you didn't want to do a debut?
I'm going to say something very controversial.
Something very bold.
Debuts are overrated,
Yeah?
at least in my mind.
Why are we talking about
Especially with the amount of like pre-debut hype that a lot of people have going on. Like, I get that's, and maybe this is just because of my perspective as someone who does not care about like trying to make this a big thing, but it's, I don't have enough going on that a debut is warranted, because what would I put in that debut? Hey guys, I have a model. Let's go play a video game now.
Do you think the VTuber culture is like becoming oversaturated with the whole premise of a debut? Because I feel like back in the day, debuts were meant to be a very special thing that just pretty much corporate people did.
Well, it's because debuts are based around idols doing it, which are corporate things. It's not meant for everyone to be doing it.
Do you think?
Like, VTubers in general are migrating away from what the original idea was.
Which was being,
Just a virtual idol, basically.
would you say it's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's good that they're migrating away from it because it allows for a lot more creativity if they're not being told what to do. But I also don't think that the debuts are. I think that pumping up your first stream is maybe a good idea, but I don't necessarily think that everyone needs a debut.
Yeah, I think I can see that because I think a debut, like a very first stream, you know, you go live for the first time. I think that's something to be hyped up. But just the whole song and dance of introducing yourself, likes, dislikes, goals, plans, and all that. At a certain
I will say, once you have it doesn't need to be like even a medium-sized audience, but enough people consistently coming in, I would say it's probably okay. And I would, in my eyes, makes more sense to have outfit or update debuts
Mm-hmm.
because you want to show the new thing off.
Yeah, it's like you get a car. You want to drive around the
Yeah.
block. You want to, show people that, hey,
Yeah.
I got a nice new car. I like it. So something else I was thinking about is, do you think with a lot of the whole corporate debut model that in Hololive, Niju Sanji, V Shoujo, all they do you think that sets unrealistic expectations?
I feel like it makes sense for those companies to do.
Oh, yeah,
because they're still companies.
Very much so.
And
they have the means and the follows to do that.
well, the other thing is they typically do a relay method between the talents, which is a lot better when you're introducing multiple people at once.
A relay method?
Because, yeah, so to my knowledge, if one person will debut and then the next one will, and then the next one will, and they just hand it off to the next person of that generation that's debuting. And if you're doing it in a large batch like that, I think it makes more sense to amp everything up and have a whole song and dance because A, it's a corporate thing. They can do that. It makes more sense. And B, you're dumping a lot of information on people and you want to make it as easily digestible as possible.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, it's one of those things where when you see that it happens, like with all of the like separating the corporate aspect of it, they do have these fan bases that are kind of there at the beck and ready to just go and show support because they're fans of the company and they want to see what'll happen next. Whereas a lot of these independent people they're having to build up that rapport among their audience and grow that on their own. So it's I feel like,
and being part of a corporation has significantly higher standards to it as well. Like even from an audience perspective, you're expecting a lot more out of them.
Yeah. Now, that's not to say that debuts are bad by any means, which you're saying. It's something that's I've kind of talked about this a little bit before with previous guests about debut culture and how sometimes people do set unrealistic expectations.
That's it. If you hype up your debut, like this is going to sound super pessimistic, but it's also the reality of it. If you hype your debut up a lot and are going through a lot of interactions on Twitter and stuff, almost guaranteed a very minor portion of the people you've interacted with are actually going to show up. And nothing hurts more than thinking you're going to get a much bigger reaction and then having 3 people show up. If you're lucky.
It's kind of like hyping up your birthday party, when you're in school and then you hand out invitations and only 3 people show up, but you handed out 100 of them.
Yeah.
And so you end up just being...
It's hyping up your birthday party on the same week that everyone else does.
It's hyping up your birthday on the same day. Your birthday party is the same day a Taylor Swift concert is.
Yeah.
Because
or like the Super Bowl, because it's like people have other things they're probably going to do. But yeah, you might show up on their radar.
Yeah. So you kind of mentioned it earlier, pre-debut. What is that?
Well, that's the pre-debut is just having your Twitter account and just farming interactions with people. And I specifically use the word farming because I think having an account just as a placeholder while all of you're working out all the details before you actually start streaming is fine. But when you're actively going out and doing things like follow for follow and like, hey, guys, come check out my debut on whatever date, and just that nonstop, I think is not good.
It's interesting that you bring that up. You said follow for follow.
Yeah, I did that very intentionally.
For this guy's reading my mind, guys. He knows exactly what questions I'm gonna ask next. What are your thoughts on the concept of follow for follow? Because I feel like they're pretty similar.
Follow for follow is not a good plan on something like Twitter.
Really?
Because people mindlessly scroll Twitter all of the time, and just because you interact with someone a singular time does not mean you will ever care about them again.
So then what about the follow for follow aspect of Twitch?
Twitch, I think, makes a little more sense because there's much more interaction if you raid someone.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're talking to the person. The current streamer can see if they have commands set up. They can see what the previous person was doing. They can talk about that. If it's similar content, usually viewers will take a look at least.
Yeah.
Which is another thing is, I very much recommend and this sounds very bold of me to say as someone who does not really stream seriously or that much, if you're going to raid someone, do it to similar content. Because if you take people to a stream that has content they're not interested in, they're going to leave immediately.
It's kind of like,
and there would roughly be no point to raiding that person.
It's why I stopped raiding Lenore, because I'm like, hey guys, go support this person. I think would be really fun. But at the same time, I'm like,
by all means, say I like this person and give them a shout out, and give your chat a summation of what they do. But a rating is a large gesture, and if the people that you bring in immediately leave, it's not a great gesture.
Oh, that's true. Rating people who are followers only. Yeah. That's something that I am trying to be a little better at. Well, actually, the people I've been rating recently, I only raid new people from the show, where typically when I actually do my normal streams, I'll raid people who I've interacted with and I know of. Because I'm like, hey, they're live right now. That'd be pretty fun. Like, for instance, if we see who's live right now.
Mono's live. I know that.
Just scared me a little bit with those Legos, Finch. Yeah, so Mono's up right now. Lord Rexworth is live. Cynical is live. Abbott's live. Chibidoki and Fillion are live. I mean, I'm not gonna raid into Chibidoki or Fillion.
Yeah.
I could, but
that's the other thing is, I'll be honest, I don't typically follow. I used to follow a lot of people every time that we would raid. I don't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because it means if I just want to find something to watch on Twitch and I look at my follows, 100 people I'm following are live, but I don't remember any of them.
It's one of those things where recently I'm like, do I want to purge my follow list for people I have not seen content of?
Oh, I have absolutely pogged. I pogged my follow list. I've purged my follow list very heavily. I used to have probably 300 to 400 people, and it's down to 50.
Because how I've been thinking about it is like, I kind of feel a little bad about the aspect of unfollowing people. But at the same time, I'm like, I kind of want to condense that content down. I'm like, I know this is somebody who I would watch.
I would say you don't have to feel bad about it, because think about the amount of people from your high school that you still interact with.
That's fair. Pardon me, I need to polish off this Dr. Pepper. I watch the content, listen to the voice, and decide whether to follow later, usually until after they're done streaming, to prevent the call out. Really? That's a very interesting way of doing it. Sorry about that. Oh, finishing off that Dr. Pepper. Goodness.
Damn, it took you this long to finish your drink. What a loser.
Sir, I'm drinking 1 liter, which is
And
a lot. I should not be drinking that anymore.
that's a you problem.
Yeah. Because, like, it's one of those things where I've been very, like I said, I feel like I have to follow out of obligation.
I feel like the streamer can follow out of obligation. That is definitely true.
But if I'm part of a raiding party, unless they're interesting, I don't feel, lately I've been like, I don't feel like I have a reason to raid or to follow, excuse me.
And that's
like,
the other thing is I will follow to be polite.
Yeah.
If I do not like the person and I think that it's just the content isn't for me, I'll unfollow later.
Oh, that's very fair.
I've definitely had some very not great raids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Just the streamer was.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the streamer was just not always great.
It's one of those things where you kind of have to take a gamble on.
I mean, honestly, I just raid people that I know. That's the biggest thing. And if there's no one that I know live, I'll pick someone else.
Yeah. So, well, this has been fun. This has been good talk. Why don't we get to our last 10 questions? And then we will call it a fun stream. A fun show. So, these are the 10 questions that famous writer, actor, director James Lipton would always ask to his guests at the very end of his show, inside the actor's studio. He would always ask his audience and his students. There is no right, there is no wrong answer. There is simply just whatever you feel in the contents of your heart. And audience, if you were watching, I encourage you to also play along with this if you haven't already. So with that, we'll start with the very first one. Tay, what is your favorite word?
Fuck.
Why?
Because it's so versatile.
We're not even at the favorite curse word.
No, I know, there's a different one.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, it's a versatile word.
Yeah.
Continue.
Name any other word in the English language that is this versatile.
In what aspect?
I can use the word fuck in about 1 billion different situations, and it'll all have different meanings.
Fair enough.
I can use it to express joy, sadness, anger.
You can use it as a noun, a verb, an adverb, an adjective.
This was a fucking good stream, or this was a fucking stream. Have 2 entirely different meanings.
The English language in a nutshell.
Yes. Fuck is a great word.
I see. Thanks, Automod. Look, it thinks that you're bullying. All right. What is your least favorite word?
That's a lot harder. What is my least favorite word?
Really thinking about it now.
I can't think of a single. I don't have least favorite words. It's least favorite phrases.
What's your least favorite phrase?
Anything that sounds like someone is just half-assing an apology.
You give an example?
I don't know if I can. Like, really, just any sort of excuse phrase. Like, I would have, except that kind of thing. Or I'm sorry, I should have, but I was doing whatever, you know.
It's the hey, I'm not racist, but
yeah, pretty much.
Where whatever you're gonna say completely negates the previous feelings or sentiment.
Yeah. Like, sometimes it's fine and it makes sense, but a lot of the time it's just Yeah, I don't really have a least favorite word. I just don't like excuses.
Fair. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Hot people.
Hot people?
Hot people.
Why hot people?
Because hot people look very good in whatever clothes they're wearing. And that makes me want to think about costuming.
Define what a hot person is.
I don't know. It's like,
What is your ideal hot person?
there's two examples. I could use like,
Chris Pratt.
fuck no. Like I could qualify Lenore as a hot person, but I could also call Astoria Astorius a hot person. Like they're very different kinds of hot, but goddamn, do both of them look great and make me want to think about
Who's the second person?
designs. Astorius from Dark Souls.
I don't remember who that is.
It's the fucking
Thank you,
dude with the
Vega.
blue armor who like
In
gets all gooey.
Which
like
game?
Dark Souls 1.
I've never played Dark Souls 1. I've only played Dark Souls 3.
Hey, chat, can you throw all of your possible Dr. Pepper at him for me?
I'm gonna take my headset off. Yeah, there it is.
Okay, you don't even have an excuse because the Astorius armor is in Dark Souls 3. That's what I use.
My gosh, Finch!
Not Astorius, Artorius, excuse me.
Finch, you didn't have to do that! I got Vega gambling!
Look at the images that I put in the chat. Thank you. It has like a 30-second cooldown, Vega.
We're gonna be here for a little bit. And
Yeah, so the image I put in the chat is Artorius, and god damn it, Artorius is hot.
I see. What turns you off?
Hmm.
Ugly people.
I'm assuming it's the same context as before.
Yes, spiritually, creatively, or emotionally. So, for instance, like something that turns me on creatively is music, but something that turns me off, say Val. Yeah, what's up, Vega? What's up, my pal? Something that turns me off? What? Oh, that took me a moment.
I got it. It's just letting you do your thing. No, Vega. Val turns me on quite a bit.
Schmoozer winning more money. Now Schmoozer and Finch are like battling it out with their points. Yeah, something that turns me off creatively, spiritually, or emotionally is like wanton thoughts.
I would say bland designs on things. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, just having a bland design, I think, is very bland, and it does not inspire me to do anything.
Speaking of bland designs.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah. Yeah. You're just a little guy.
I'm just a little guy.
Grippers! Let's go! He got the grippers out.
What is your favorite curse word?
I think my favorite curse word is shit.
Looks like you and Amy are put those
It's either shit or bitch, and I don't know which one.
If you had to pick one, which one would you? If you could only use one for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Bitch.
Yeah.
You can supplement shit with fuck, but you can't supplement bitch.
Combine them. Shabish.
You should be.
That sounds like a little bit of a Sanskrit word.
Yeah, I would say bitch, because it's a lot harder to supplement that
Okay.
with fuck.
What sound or noise do you love?
Just music.
Yeah. What's your favorite kind of music?
I can't answer that.
What's your favorite type of music to listen to while you clean?
I can't answer that.
What do you mean you can't answer that? Just pick one.
No, that's the thing, is I have a lot of variety, and I just kind of...
So do I, but I can pick one.
When I'm cleaning, I just grab a random record and just put it on, and then I'll grab another one when it's done.
Cause like I like to listen to jazz when I clean, but I listen to like all sorts of music.
Cause you're fuck. Looking at it, I could grab the Evangelion soundtrack. I could grab the Doom 2016 soundtrack. I could grab Bo Burnham. It's like, it's not specific.
Fair enough. What sound or noise do you hate?
Children.
Children?
Fuck them kids, as Michael Jordan would say.
Wait, no, guys, don't do that.
Send them to God.
Speaking of God, that's later. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Costuming.
Costuming.
Not seamstress, but costuming.
Is there a specific... Good job, Vega. You're using the money I gave you well. Now, don't gamble all of it again, because if you do, I will just point and laugh. So then, what would be a costume you want to, like, from like a franchise or series? What is something you'd like to make, or is that what you want to create?
My end all be all costume.
Warframe?
No.
Oh. Armor
Tone. From Titanfall 2.
Oh.
But there is so much that would go into that I just don't have the ability to do yet.
You need FU money for that.
I do.
Fair enough. What profession would you not like to do?
Elementary school teacher.
Elementary school?
I just hate kids. I'm gonna be honest.
Well,
any job where I have to closely work with kids all the time, I would hate.
Kids are awful. Kids are mean.
Yes.
They give you...
Kids aren't, like, mean enough for me to care. They're just annoying.
Kids are just honest.
They're just annoying. They don't know how to shut up.
It's true. All right, last question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Who are you?
There's so much implication that could be given there. That breaks the... I mean, if... I'm of course poking fun at it because it doesn't say what God specifically, but I'm just thinking about the basic Christian God of... God says, who are you? That would imply there's some being that was created without his knowledge, meaning he's not all-knowing.
Exactly. It's just like, where the fuck did you come from and who are you?
Hold on. God when he sees you... Wait, where's it? God when he sees you pop up?
I'm such a certified little man. I'm too little for him to see.
All-knowing but dementia?
Damn. Can't believe God got that all-knowing Alzheimer's.
My goodness. Well, that is our show. Thank you so much for being a part of this. It's been a long time coming, and I'm just happy we're finally able... How did you get in my house? My ears. How did you get in my house, Yahweh? It do be like that. Who's that? Says Elohim, Jehovah. Just walks in. Oh, that? I just found him off the street.
They don't think it be like it be, but it do.
It really do. So anywho, thank you guys so much for joining us today on this really fun and very special episode of the VOD. I really...
Let's go. We love gambling. Gambling's based.
Schmoozer.
Can we get a F in chat for schmoozing?
Oh sevens.
Oh, sevens in chat, please.
Oh seven.
Can I get a cheese in chat?
Can I get a cheese in chat? I'm God's pantry rat.
That's so bait. You're so based for that, Vega.
Hold on. Oh, thank goodness. I'm still number 1. Well, anywho, guys.
Damn, Vega lost all of theirs too.
Good job, Vega. He is a guy. He's a lad. But anywho, it's time for our last, in my opinion, our second most important question. That is, Tay, who do you want to raid that has not been on the VOD?
That hasn't been on the VOD?
And if the only people who you see that are on the VOD, that have been on the VOD, that's okay too. Well, you get that.
I was just gonna say Monozuki because there's no one else on that I'm following that doesn't have like 2,000 viewers.
I see. Self-control, what's that?
I don't think I'm gonna send you over to Jacob Alpharad.
Jacob. Us and our 10 viewers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a lot of fun. I love the show. I love my friend who got to be on here. Please join us.
That's kind of gay.
Yeah. But guess what?
That's what you are. You are what you eat.
Yup, that's me. Your favorite pansexual fembat. Anywho, y'all. I love you guys. This has been a lot of fun, and let's raid out and let's think you can't flick those 5 fembucks. Where is that? Monozuki VT. Let's start that. And guys, I hope to see you next week for our next episode of the VOD with the Darling Damon. And I hope to see you guys as well on Monday as we try and figure out what we're going to be playing, because Phantom's been a little busy doing home repair stuff, and so we currently don't know whether or not we continue to play Elden Ring. So join us on Monday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for another fun-filled episode of whatever we do. But with that in mind, let's get out of here. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.